This is Fight Fans Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live on BJJ Addict Radio. Thank you for tuning in, and hope everyone's enjoying their day right now. So, there we go. I'm sounding crystal clear again. For a second, I was echoing everyone. It was messing up my train of thought. So, I am back. Focus. This is Real DWC, aka David Carroll. You can follow me on Twitter at Real DWC, BJJ Addict Radio, BJJ Addict. You can follow Fight Fans Radio. Yeah, get in all our social medias. Stay in touch on Facebook. We are going crazy right now. A lot of people are interacting. Yeah, man. Just things are taking off slow and steady at a manageable pace. You know. That's what really matters. All right, so tonight we have Chris Brennan on. He's the West Side Strangler. This will be his second appearance on the show. Joins the elite group of second appearances. Unfortunately, Jake McKenzie can't make it on right now. He had to reschedule with us, and that's fine. So we'll have hopefully Jake McKenzie on sooner than later. But either way, we have a lot of big things coming up with, of course, the West Side Strangler. He's got some big announcements today that he's saved for the radio show to announce. So even I have no idea what he's going to tell the grappling community. So excited to hear about that. Also, we have on next week Grapplers Quest CEO, President Brian Simmons. He's been doing a lot for the community for years. Before a lot of these big companies with a lot of money been coming out of nowhere and doing these crazy tournaments. He was on the scene in North America, probably one of the longest and definitely one of the best and most consistent. So I'm always a big supporter of Grapplers Quest. With that being said, Saturday, May 25th, the Canadian National Championships in Brampton, Ontario. The venue is Century Gardens Arena 2. It's really, really a great venue to hold a grappling event in, by the way. So if you guys, anyone from around surrounding areas, listen, this is well worth the trip out there to this Grapplers Quest. That will be Saturday, May 25th. Go to grapplersquest.com. There's more info. You could still do pre-registration. They have the weigh-ins the day before. It's a real great tournament. So he'll actually come on next week and he'll be able to talk more about this. But I just thought I'd announce this tournament now. Also, the Sunday, there happens to be a MMA pancreation and no-gi for the FILA World qualifiers the next day. So it's quite a huge weekend for the Ontario scene and definitely for Grapplers Quest. So tune in. There's also a super fight that, regardless of where you live or from, everybody would like to see this. George Brito representing Ribeiro BJJ, of course, the leader of Toronto BJJ, George Brito. He'll be taking on Batman Kurt Pellegrino in a super fight. So I don't know about you guys, but that is going to be one hell of an exciting grappling match. So if you guys know who you're picking, hit us up on BJJ Radio and give us your picks, and let's see who wins that one. Definitely going to be a barn burner. Also, what has been going on lately, folks? we just got off messages with Cyborg, who's doing the Metamoris, and it looks like he's down for a radio interview with us. So hopefully he'll be coming on very soon. It'd be a great honor to talk with the master of the Tornado Sweep. He's been on my list for a while of someone I'd love to interview. And don't forget to tune in June 4th. We have grapplingarts.com, Mr. Stefan Casting. So it's going to be some cool episodes coming up. And thank you, everyone, right now. I just like to personally thank people who listened to the Mike Fowler interview from last week. A lot of feedback from the people that did listen and that I know and that I got to speak to about it. And you know, it was quite eye-opening, and the response has been huge. So hopefully everyone could get behind him and kind of pay it forward. What goes around comes around, and you know, I hope everyone helps Mike out and North Shore BJJ out and Tracy and gets that going. And when it's your time to be helped, hopefully everyone jumps aboard and helps you out also. And it's a good way to act in life, I think. So hopefully, everyone got to listen to that, and it was quite honest, and it was really raw, and like I really appreciate him being honest, even though the subject matter was kind of, shocking or sad to hear. Sometimes it was I appreciate his honesty. Let's just put it that way. It was quite crazy. I re-listened to the interview after, and uh, it was touching. Like he was being honest, and he was speaking from the heart, which a lot of people don't do these days. So shout out to Mike Fowler. Hope everything gets going, and I can't wait to see him compete. When he was talking about getting back on the mats in the next year, probably 2014, uh, and getting back to where he was, if not in a better position, it excites me as a fan. So can't wait to see that. Everybody, the Worlds is coming up. I know this is everyone's big time of the year, and if you're in the blue belts or a white belt and you want to be a world champion, I feel bad for you. It's amazing how many people are competing. It's not even closed yet, and we have people in divisions, 88 people, 110 people. I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of people. Uh, Back in the day, it wasn't as crazy for even the purple belts. I'm talking people got 60, 70 man divisions. So, uh, man, it's going to be crazy. And of course, what excites me the most about these is the people coming up about to get their black belts. You got brown belts, uh, people that just came off the Pan Ams. I mean, the rooster weight division's starting to get deeper, even at black belt. So, I mean, the brown belts are coming up. Uh, you got to wonder, is Keenan Cornelius going to keep his winning ways up at brown belt and win his way in absolute once again? Uh, that's going to excite me as a fan. Uh, just things like that. And of course, you got the black belt division, which is starting to fill up. And, you know, I could be wrong, but 14 people at the black adult male rooster. Uh, I think that's a pretty deep division. A lot of names I haven't heard of before, but you got the regulars. You got Philip Costa, who's obviously been on a show before and just one of the grappling greats in my eyes. And you got Brennan Mullins. Uh, these guys are uh, man, they've been doing it for a while now, and they're always facing and stuff. And Fabio Alencar, these guys, it's gonna be a tough division, and it, it it looks like Kyle Terra is representing Braza. I reached out to Philippe Costa to see why or how that happened, but yeah, Kyle Terra is representing Braza. I believe it's the second time he's done this, and there's still people representing Kyle Terra Jiu Jitsu, but when he's in this, he's representing Braza. He actually moved to light feather, which excites me because now he's in Guy Mendez division. Uh, I mean, any fan would like to see him and Mendes in the final. It'd be pretty good. Uh, but the whole division stacked, of course. You got man, just so many people are at the black belt division. You can just imagine the open weight, of course, should be one of the most exciting things ever. There's 31 people just in the male light division. Uh, 34 in another. It's getting crazy right now. A lot of people are coming out and they want that title. So shout out to people competing at the World, especially past guests. I see a lot of people out there, and we always keep an eye on them and secretly have our own agenda to root for them. So uh, can't wait. I think we're gonna get on to this interview, folks, and see what the West Side Stranglers up to. Pumped up.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Chris, please?
You're speaking to him.
Oh, we are live. We are live right now on BJJ Addict Radio. How are you?
I'm shy. I don't want to talk.
Well, you know what? I don't care.
I figured if I dropped out two, that'd be two of your big guys dropping out in one day. You'd be SOL.
Oh man, you called it. If you
What
didn't
happened?
pick up, I was just gonna quit doing what I do.
So how's it going?
I'm excellent. And yourself?
I'm doing well. Just was in the middle of teaching class, and my alarm went off to remind me that I had this right now.
Nice. And you left class. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Paired everyone to start sparring, and then I ran out of the room, so now they're on their own.
Yeah. Does that make you nervous a bit?
No, they're all in good hands. I got a lot of good guys in there.
Nice. So yeah, we were talking before, a week or two ago, and you had some huge news that you wanted to, you know, let the community know, and I'm actually curious. So let's start with this. Let's get into some of the things you would like to share with us.
Well, it's not huge. It's huge to me. It's huge to a lot of the guys coming. We have three different things going on right now that I kind of want to talk about.
Yeah, no problem. All yours.
June 29th, we're having an open tryout here at my school in Dallas for our fight team. And once I started getting to build it up, I believe I have 30 or 35 families flying in from California, Oregon, Washington, Philly, New York, D.C., and Georgia, all over the place for guys coming to try out for our fight team. And I was trying to get, I wanted to get as many people as I could. So if I had some guys who, just didn't make it, I want to make sure we had a good group of guys making it afterwards. I have a couple fighters here at my school, but this is the first school. Like in California, I had 12 guys who were ready to drop, ready to kill somebody at the drop of the hat. They were ready to fight every day. And here, I don't have that. I have twice to the amount of students here, but I don't have the fighters that I had there. So I'm having a hard time getting a lot of guys that commit to fighting. I have one kid, his name's Fat Chow, and he is 1,000% ready to go, and he's only been training for a year and a little bit, year and a half, and he's already 1-0 as a pro. And I need training partners for him. I need, I want a fight team again to build up and get guys in the UFC and start, build it up. And I have 300 plus students here at this school already, and we've only been open for a year and a half, but not a lot of fighters. And that's my background. I want to have a lot of fighters, and I want to have a good fight team. I've got a beautiful school, like a 9,000 square foot school with an octagon, a ring, with everything. And I want to get the word out for this tryout. It's June 29th. It's free. It's going to be 2 days of conditioning and striking, grappling, wrestling. The team I have of coaches in this school is just like, it's second to none. I'm the jiu-jitsu coach. I teach all the jiu-jitsu classes. I have Master Tong here full-time now, who was the old Alpha Male head coach. And I now have, or I've had since I opened, Kendall Cross, who's an Olympic gold medalist, as our wrestling coach. So between the three of us, we want to build some monsters. and we're all under one roof. So I'm pretty excited about that. I want to get as many people to try out if they can, and the training's free after that. We're going to take a percentage of the fight purses and sponsorship, and the rest is free. Full-time fight team training every day, full-time for nothing.
When
I want to build some guys from the ground up.
how long has it been since Master Tong has been with you? Because he's quite a well-known name.
Yeah, he was here for a month when they hired Dwayne. He came out here. He was supposed to, Saxon. Saxon is another coach out here. He was Anthony Njikwani's coach. He's
Okay.
out here in Dallas, and he went to Thailand and brought Master Tong out here to cover his classes while he was gone. And he ended up coming over here and teaching full-time here for about a month. Well, apparently I found out he was only supposed to be over here for like a week or two. So while he was gone, he wasn't answering his phone or anything, and Uriah and them ended up hiring Dwayne, and that's how that all went down. So Master Tong went back, and it wasn't the guy anymore. So between then and now, we've been talking, trying to make it all happen and iron it out, and now he's been here for the last couple of weeks. He's only been here for I think 2 weeks now.
Amazing.
But my class size in Muay Thai doubled.
Yeah, I can imagine. When you have a response like that, 30 people or 30 a lot of people are dropping everything to come out. Were you expecting numbers like that? And also another part of that question, what are you looking for in these fighters? Because I mean, it's one thing to just say I want to punch somebody in the face, but what do you look for to have somebody join your team, especially?
Well, to be honest, a couple things. I'd like to get some guys who have experience, who aren't rock stars already, but that I could get to that level. And I want to see guys with heart. I want to see guys that show up and really want to fight. I don't care what they know. I'm responsible for that. Me, Master Tong, and Kendall Cross are responsible for providing them all the knowledge and training to get them to where they need to be. But you can't train heart. You can't train the mind or the heart. If they're not fighters, but even if they're good, even if they already have skills, but they're kind of a pussy, I don't want them. I want a kid who wants to fight hard and do the best he can, and he's got heart in the cage, and everything else I can build. I've done it for the last 18 years in training, and that's what I want to see. I want to see a guy. I don't care if a guy goes out there and keeps getting his ass kicked over and over and over in the tryout. If he keeps coming back and he keeps trying and he's a sponge and wants to learn and shows that he wants to learn, man, I'll take him in a second because I can build off of that. I'd rather have that than, have a guy show up and think he knows everything and beat a couple guys up and is cocky. I'd send him on his way.
Yeah, speaking of that, is it difficult to, let's say not on the cocky side, but let's just say you just know it wouldn't be a good fit, but he's actually not too bad. Is it hard to sit down and tell somebody, you're not welcome or not that you're not welcome, but you just don't have what it takes to be on my team? Or have you ever had to break the news to someone that they have no, maybe not really a good shot at being an MMA fighter? Because it isn't for everyone.
Oh, it's absolutely not for everyone. And I let everyone come to one MMA class when we're sparring before they do anything, just to find out, you'll know right away if it's for you or if it's not for you. And it's difficult, like you said, to have a guy, if he does know everything or if he thinks he knows everything. If he's not teachable, then I don't want him. If it's not something that I can work with and coach and corner, then I don't want him. We want to build strong relationships here, and like I said, I don't care if I have to start from the ground up with these guys. As long as they want to learn, we don't have to be in the UFC tomorrow. I just want to be on a path to get these guys there. I got a couple guys coming who've been fighting in Bellator, which is cool. A couple of guys who are 10-2, and then there's some guys who haven't fought yet, but promise the world to me. So we'll see what happens when they all get here. Everyone can do everything until they show up and have to do it, and it's not going to be easy. They're going to fight when they're here. We're going to do pad work, mitt work, live wrestling, live sparring, live jiu-jitsu, and then we're going to do some live fights in the cage, where guys are going to have to go one round with one guy, one round with another guy, and just kind of see how it goes.
Nice. Now, is it hard being a coach full-time and putting this team together and building other fighters, or is this something just a natural progression and you're content with that?
Oh yeah, it's before, like in my school in California, we had 10 to 12 pros every day training full time. And then once I was done with that, then I teach my classes, my regular jiu-jitsu classes, and those guys would stay and do those classes to continue to grow in each style. And I think it just meshes into my school really well. No one's going to get, my fight team's not going to get 100% of the attention, and no one else get attention, nor are they going to be ignored, and the other classes get all the attention. I've done it, for a long time to spread it pretty well across the board. And I also, I don't care what you do or what you know or what you're good at. My fighters will be required to do my jiu-jitsu classes, to do our Muay Thai classes, and to do the wrestling classes, as well as the MMA, the fight team training. Otherwise, I think that's the problem with the sport right now is everyone's training MMA as a sport and not getting great at anything. They're all the fights basically look like the same fight over and over again right now, and everyone's fighting for their lives to get back to their feet. And it's a lot to do with the point system and whatnot, but I think everyone is training, not everyone, but like a huge amount of people are training too much actual MMA, like a fight, instead of getting good at learning each place, the ground, the stand-up, and the wrestling department. And
Yeah, I'm actually glad you
a
said
big
that. I
thing.
couldn't agree more. I find that crazy when I hear people not training, at least like working on just striking separate and whatever, or just grappling. So yeah, that's definitely a well put point. I just wanted to touch on this team thing once more about what does it mean to be part of a team when you say, hey, there's tryouts. What does it mean to be part of a team? You being a fighter, you would know more than anyone. And uh, how important is it for a rising star or someone young to be part of a team with a team that actually could get them to the place that they could potentially go? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of teams that promise the world and then they can't get a fighter a fight even. So, what's the
Right.
difference and what does it mean?
I think it's huge. I think it's important to be somewhere. Number one, they does have some sort of connections to get you somewhere, to get you into the fights when you're at the level to grow into the next event or to the larger event, and go from something like a local legacy fight here, which is pretty big here in Texas, to something like Bellator or to the UFC. Just to go that level. And you have to have a management company or like us. Fight team who has the connections to handle all that and get you, through steps to get to that point, or to get it on the show, even to get on the Ultimate Fighter. I've had connections to get that route done as well. So that's going to help a lot, and I think it's important for them to have that and someone to guide you instead of just like, I've been doing this or that with this guy and I travel around to here and do whatever. If you don't have a schedule or plan, it makes it really difficult, and that'll be on us as well. That's our job, to take care of these guys, create somewhat of a, the family atmosphere between everybody so they all get along and training well together, but also putting in the work to get to the next level. And it's important to have, the team to be able to do that with, and the training partners. It's all about training partners. Otherwise you're not improving, and it's important to have all the good training partners each day. And I'm excited to have guys coming from every weight class. And I think I have 5 125ers coming, and that's what my guy Fat is. So he's got, instant 5 or 6 training partners, for these guys. And another thing that's important is you don't want to be on a team like, let's say you are back in the day when Militech had his fight team, okay, when it was big. Let's say you were a 155er, okay? Do you think you're going to get a fight before Jens Pulver gets a fight? Hell no. Or a heavyweight before Tim Sylvia gets a fight? These guys, it's hard when you already have rock stars there, because there's other guys who are probably due for that next step, but they're getting held off and put on the back burner while the rock stars are getting the fights. And that's what I want. I want to build these guys up and spread them out to different events to build them all at the same time and let them grow and not have to wait, because the one guy's better than him, so he's getting all the fights or he's getting all the sponsorships. I want to, everyone to be going at the same speed to different events and whatnot, and just stay busy.
Nice. Let's move on now to another thing that you'd like to share with us.
The next thing is, on this year, everyone's been bugging for me to start competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments now that I retired from MMA. I will be doing the Worlds this year. I will be doing a few small shows. Yeah, we'll be doing a few small shows first. Just, I literally think I have 13 jiu-jitsu matches in my life. And there are, a handful of them were against some really good guys. I fought Lehman, Marcelo Garcia, and I forget who else, Bill Cooper. I've had some really, really good matches.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous out of 13 that you just named those three.
Yeah, and I've never trained for a grappling event, ever. Like, I've been training for a fight, been training whatever, got invited to do one, and I jumped in and did it. I got invited for Abu Dhabi on short notice, and I got invited 3 other times to Abu Dhabi on, like, a week's notice, and I was like, no, last time you guys threw me Marcelo first round. It's like, how cool is that? But I want to train for one specifically. I'm going to start doing a couple of, I'm just going to, bounce in on a couple of the ones that my school is doing locally and get on the mat, just get going with it. And then come November or whenever it is, I'm going to do the Worlds, and I'd like to do ADCC again. I think it's next year, though.
Wow,
But
that's pretty
years
darn
old,
cool. Have you been keeping up with the trends of the grappling world lately, and how it's a lot of bottom game, with the double guard pulls? I mean, it's more in gi, but still, it transcends everywhere. Like modern jiu-jitsu, they call it. Have you been keeping an eye on what some of these young prodigies are doing? And part two of this question will be, do you think people with old school, a lot of basics, a lot of good fundamentals could shut down some of these modern games easier?
I believe so, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of tremendous guys out there, some phenomenal guys. There are, what I keep trying to tell my students, like, oh, just jump in and compete, just jump in and compete. I was like, there are career jiu-jitsu guys. There are guys that's all they do is jiu-jitsu tournaments, and they know how to win jiu-jitsu tournaments. And I don't want to just jump in there and get my ass kicked with somebody who I feel that I'm better at jiu-jitsu. And I get a lot of guys playing the, tornado guard and all the upside down crap and whatever. I have a game plan for it. It's working with the guys I'm training with. But again, I'm not going against guys who are world champions. So I'm definitely going to train for that stuff. I'm going to train with good guys for good guys. And I'm not expecting a ton yet. I want to get out there, and I think I'll turn some heads for sure. But after my first couple of tournaments, I think people will be, oh, wow, he does jiu-jitsu too, not just MMA, for sure.
So on a scale of like 1 to 10, because, I mean, you've made it to the highest pinnacle in MMA. You fought a long career. Does it excite you as much to get into it, or like does it make you as nervous as it would saying like a first fight again type of feeling?
Yeah, I was just going to say I get way, way more nervous in grappling events than I do in fights. And I believe that is only because I'm a jiu-jitsu instructor. I'm a jiu-jitsu-based school. We have our MMA team and whatnot, but that's my background, that's my strength, so that's what I'm supposed to be good at. So I think that's why I get nervous more on what everyone thinks student-wise instead of, just being, I don't know, like before my fights, I got nervous for a long time, but then after a while it wasn't anymore. But jiu-jitsu tournaments, for whatever reason, it's been a long time, but I used to get really nervous before them because I just felt like I had more to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, it's not so bad because everyone's doing it. Everyone wins. Everyone loses. There's some crazy good guys, but that have schools, but everyone, there's got to be a loser in each match. So my goal is to win and tear people's limbs off.
Nice. Yeah, I was just gonna say that actually, it's different. Like if you're just so and so and you're competing, but when you're there and you got your own team and students watching you, does that not make it a little more like a little more pressure on you, or do you just say, oh, it doesn't matter, everyone does, like you said, everyone wins and everyone loses? Like people could relate to that.
Well, that's how I'm going to look at it, just to relieve pressure from myself, because I don't know if that is, everyone looks kind of different, obviously, but I'm just going to go in there and do the best that I can. And to be honest, man, I'm not I don't want to downplay it either. I expect to do very well. I don't expect to go in there and lose. I expect to do very well. I wouldn't be doing it. It's not in my nature to compete to lose. But that's also why I'm taking it realistically. I'm going to jump in, do a Naga, do a Grappler's Quest, do a couple of things just like spur of the moment, and while being in shape. But I don't want to register a month out and have 40 guys show up in my weight class to get a chance to fight me. I just want to show up, do a couple matches, and do the next one. Move on to the next one, and just kind of baby step my way to Worlds in November.
That's amazing. And I was just wondering what weight you'll choose to compete at, if you know.
To be honest, I haven't even looked at the weights. I'm 171 right now, so I'm very light for me. But I just started getting back into shape. Normally I walk at like 85, but I wanted to get in shape, get light, and then just kind of build up a little bit of muscle. And then I'm not even sure what the weight classes are around that 60 to 70 pound area. Do you?
Not offhand. They're like 14-pound increments. But if you're in the 70s, here we go.
Just from fighting, I'm not.
Yeah, there's a 168 if you can make that, and if not, then it's 181. So that's what I'm saying about the jumps are odd sometimes. There's nothing worse than being caught in between.
68 in 2 hours.
Pardon?
I can make 168 in like the next 2 hours. I'm only a couple pounds over that, so. That's
well, you might as well go to 154.5 then.
There you go.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. If there's something within like cutting range, and if it's something that I can also do weigh-ins day before, like I'm not sure. I think the Worlds are the same day, huh?
Yeah, they have it actually pretty much right before your match, so there's no point really.
So something like that, I won't be more than 4 or 5 pounds off of what I normally. I'm not gonna cut a ton of weight for that. Obviously, I won't be very healthy, so I may end up being in a little bigger of a class there. But I'm not sure. I just I'll look at those the weights as it gets closer. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty cool news. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect to hear that. So that's pretty awesome. Good luck with those when you have your matches, by the way, or do the Nagas. Those are actually really. I actually enjoy those competitions. They're good, well run usually, so should be good.
Yeah, my kids have been doing them. I have a 11 and 12-year-old, Lucas and Tyler, and they've just been killing the Texas scene. Like they've both won the Grapplers Quest Naga Texas State Championships, New Breed. Like they've won everything, and they've only been training now for a year and a half. So now in July, we're flying out to California because they have a Kids World Championships, and they're both coming out there to do that. So I'm excited. They've been so active. My one son, who's 11 years old, is 53-3 right now in grappling tournaments.
That is
He's a little
ridiculous.
Phenom. Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
So I'm excited for both of them, but I just want to compete a little bit, and get in these big tournaments so they can see as well what I'm doing. They got to go to my last 2 MMA fights, which was really cool because they'd never seen me fight before that. So just kind of, I'm doing most of it for them, building these schools up for them because they're going to have them when I'm finished, in the end. And just kind of, everything's growing. My school in Texas is crazy.
I was actually going to get around to that if you had time, just about your affiliates and how do you do as a school owner and someone has multiple schools? I see you have Ireland and Europe, other parts. How do you do control on level of quality, and what do you look for in somebody if they say, hey, listen, I want to open up a next generation MMA school?
Well, that was the third thing I want to talk about, actually. I have an instructor program that's starting on the 3rd of June coming up here. And I went through, some people know, I went through the instructor program at the Gracie Academy years ago. And it was a little bit, it was rough back then. It was a little cultish. Mine's not going to be quite as, as however that was. But
you don't have your own Kool-Aid.
What's that? No, I don't. And I'm not going to muddy the water.
Okay.
But I have all my guys, I have students here and students all over who want to open schools or, teach classes or whatnot. And I am very strict with who's going to open an affiliate school, who's going to be another next generation and whatnot. And I want people to have I've had the gi off for, I think, 16 years now, way before everybody else did. I was complete, never put a gi on again, like 15 or 16 years ago. But I stayed with the jiu-jitsu principles, the positions and the the tightness and the submissions, everything of no gi or of gi jiu-jitsu, but without the gi. I just had to create many more handles and different things. So I believe the way that I teach and the principles that I teach and everything is different than the majority of schools, than a lot of schools. So I want everyone to be, if they're going to run a next generation, they're going to run it like I do. They're going to teach it the way I teach it. They're going to teach the same no-gi principles. They're going to, have a nice school, a really clean school, all the different things. And I have an instructor program starting. We're doing 4-month semesters, like 4-month sessions starting on June 3rd. And I have 6 guys. I'm only going to take 6 locals and a couple of out-of-town people that can live at my school, and at the most. So this next one I already have full at 6, and for the next 4 months. But we're gonna, I have a partner now, and I plan to open other schools. And the guys who are jumping in this program are super excited. I have a whole curriculum built up of the teaching and the training, and their assistants in classes and observant classes and training in classes. They have a minimum amount of classes they can be at per week, and other things they have to do. And it's going to be really neat because there's a lot of guys, who want to open schools who will never have the money to open a school, So they come through me. They get the whole the teaching package and everything from me, the certificate from me. And then if they don't have what it takes to open a school, then I will open the school, and they'll be the head instructor at that school. So that'll be. I'll own another next generation. I'll provide everything to build the school, and then these guys, whoever that is, will be the head instructor there. And now if it's somebody who wants to provide their own school and go through the instructor program, then they'll go through that, and then me and him will have a split of for part of the franchise. They'll have to purchase a franchise and a monthly deal after that. So it can go 2 different ways at that point, depending on what kind of position the person's in, and what kind of person the person is. I'm just letting anybody in to do it to get their money for the instructor program. I don't care if we have 1 person or a full 6 or 7 people. It's got to be the right guy, in order to want to move on and open a business with them.
That's pretty amazing. Do you think that's something that MMA schools around North America and even jiu-jitsu schools are having a problem with? I mean, there's people just popping up saying they teach MMA, and they happen to do maybe kung fu for a couple of years, and now they're over here teaching MMA. And not only that, just people in general letting someone just use their name regardless if they are the right quality or not. Do you find this a problem lately?
It's terrible, man. It's really terrible. It's the amount of promotions right now and belts and black belts is just blows me away, because I have my student Josh Vasquez. He's when I first moved here, he was a purple belt from Carlos Machado, and me and him started training together a little bit. And he was really the only guy I had to train with, and he's gone through all the purple, brown, and black now with me, and he is legit. Like, he is super, super good, very technical, strong, great game, and a great teacher. Well, I don't know. It's always been that way for me. Anytime I open a school, we always get the random guy who wants to come in and show us what's up, you know what I mean? And I can't tell you how many black belts and brown belts we've had come in from every surrounding school around here, and we just walk through them. And I'm like, I know I'm good, but am I really that good? Like, these guys suck for a black belt. If this guy's a black belt, his teachers should be punished, you know what I mean? And brown belts. And the brown belt level out here is just terrible. And I'm finding these other schools, guys who are training with me and still in a contract somewhere else, so they're still training over there, they'll come to me and be like, yeah, so-and-so is going to promote me next week. And I'm like, what? Like, you should be a 1 belt down here at my school, not another belt up from somewhere else. Like, I'll have purple belts to train with me that should be blue, and their teacher over there is about to give them their brown. And I'm like, well, I come from the old school, man. It was so hard to get promoted back in the day, and now they just hand them out. And I've got kids, I've got kids whose parents, how they get their next belt, when they get their next belt. And my kids are only yellow belts. That's the second belt. And I have 5 yellow belts in my whole school. The rest are all white. And I tell them, I say, that's the second belt. You're looking at my own son is wearing the second belt right now. It's not easy to get promoted. And if they leave because of that, so be it. I have people that come over from from other schools that are black belts in MMA. What the hell is a black belt in MMA? But these kids actually have black belts in MMA. And I just, it's terrible. I think it's been diluted. I'm feeling Horian's pain now because it's definitely been diluted the level of jiu-jitsu, and it's sad. There's still awesome dudes out there. Obviously, there's some great guys and great teachers, but there's also some great teachers that are giving out belts. Guys who are legitimate black belts that are giving out terrible black belts and brown belts. And I think it sucks. Like, there's plenty of money to be made just having students and building a nice school and doing all that to, have to be giving stuff away for, I don't know if it's for money or what it's for, favors, what the hell, but you're not going to get a belt from me unless you're able to prove to me you're that belt, I don't care even if you know it. You can't apply it. You need to apply it. You need to know it. You need to be a good student. You need to be all sorts of things. You can't, I don't just give belts away. It's frustrating as hell to the people that do it.
Yeah, and we had friend Gina, Ricardo Miller on, who you know, correct? Of course.
That's
he was talking about how, and no one could stop these people. It's unfortunate for the people starting jiu-jitsu. They might not know much, and they just go up to a school, and their first experience, could be this guy who's a fake blue belt or a crappy blue belt, and it could be the worst jiu-jitsu experience when they didn't know that there's a black belt around the corner, So he was talking about that type of problem going on right now too, popping up, dojos popping up left, right, and center with blue belts teaching. And he said he didn't have a problem with the blue belt teaching if there is no jiu-jitsu in that community. But for a blue belt to open up a school, cut the prices half price just across the street from a black belt, he said it's crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And I go back to when I was coming up. I opened my first school as a blue belt, but there was no one around. Like, first of all, I was an all no-gi school, but there was not another one of those around. And but at the time there was nothing else really around at all, and then I just kind of grew from there. But dude, I fought in the UFC as a blue belt. That was my strength. I wasn't like I was a pro boxer with a blue belt jiu-jitsu. I was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, fighting Militech, fighting all those guys, And so it was different, man. That shows you the level of blue belt back then. It's complete. You put a blue belt in the UFC right now, that's all he's got is a jiu-jitsu blue belt and nothing else. He's gonna get murdered,
Yeah.
And it's just it's different. So I don't know. Franchino's awesome. I was gonna refer to him because he's a representative of my black belt, and we came from the same area. He was training with Jacare Romero Cavalcante in Brazil when I was there. I knew him from way back in '95, but he's the same way. He's strict. His guys are good. His team is legit, and you have to respect that, man. The guys, who are tough to get belted from. You come to get belted, go train somewhere else. But we hope we run into you at a tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I agree. It's a little. And I always ask people, well, what is the length for a person that should get a black belt? And what's your opinion, regardless of those freak proteges that happen to be able to win the worlds in 3 years, like a BJ Penn or something at black belt?
Right.
Other than that type of guy, what do you think is a good time put in, not only just to be a good competitor, but to actually understand? There's I think a big difference. I see a lot of people good at grappling and they don't understand the move when they see it being taught.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I think it varies so much on people. I got my black belt in 7 years. But when I started, I didn't do anything else in my life except for train jiu-jitsu morning, noon, and night. That's all I did every day, all day. So I think it's and I'm athletic. I was able to learn fast. And I think that there's guys who can do that. There's 7 years is pretty quick. 10 years, I think, is what they say the average is. But if you train 10 years and you train twice a week, I don't know that you could be a black belt in 10 years training twice a week. I don't think you could. I think it's a commitment thing. You need to put in work and put in time. It's timing. It's being able to apply those things, be able to teach those things. Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone's different, but I would just blanket it and say 10 years, and there could be faster, there could be longer. But if you've been training 10 years, don't come to me for a belt because you've been training 10 years on the 10th year. If you're not there, you're not there. And there's schools with signs up inside the school. I won't say who, but they'll know. Whatever amount of classes, number of classes, blue belt. Number of classes, purple belt. Number of classes, brown belt. Like, what the hell is that? Who cares how many classes they've done? If they don't know it, if they haven't learned it, if they can't apply it, they're not ready for it. But at that time, they get that belt, they test for it, they get paid for the test. That's another thing. I don't test for my belts. You pay me every month to train here, and then when you go to prove to me how good you are, I'm going to charge you again to show me that? That's stupid.
I hear you. Yeah, there's places that have black belt clubs. Get your black belt in 3 years and stuff like that. It's getting out of hand, but those are the people making the money. That's what's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm sure, man. I promise you, and I'm killing it right now. Okay, with my school, the amount of students I have and the way this thing's going, I'm killing it. But I could easily be doubling what I'm doing if I had no morals. No shit. I don't even know what the word is, but if I just didn't care and wanted to make money, I could with the facility that I have. From what I've been told, I've never been to Vanderlei, but from what I've been told, my school and Vanderlei's are very similar as far as niceness and size and everything goes, and maybe like American Top Team, but mine is supposed to be even. My school is, without boasting, it is the nicest school I've ever walked into. It's 9,000 square feet. It's beautiful inside, and I have people come in all the time that want MMA belts. They want just to come to MMA, but they've never done jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or wrestled, but they want to come to the MMA class. I'm like, the MMA class is mostly sparring. We do a lot of sparring, a lot of drilling, but it's stuff that you have to learn in the other styles. I try to explain it. But you have to know the mix of martial arts to do the mixed martial arts. You have to know jiu-jitsu. You have to know how to wrestle. You have to know Muay Thai or boxing. And I could make so much more money if I was just keep everybody happy. But I'm not. I got a plan with what I'm doing, and I'm not going to veer from it so that somebody can get what they want out of this. And not be worthy of it.
Absolutely. How big did you say the gym was again?
It's 9,000 square feet. 2 hours from here. I moved all my brothers out here. So 2 hours from here, 4 of my brothers are in a 10,000 square foot building that's been open 6 months. They're already at like 120 students. It's just growing. And that place is awesome. I have 2 browns and 1 purple and 1 blue brothers. And the 2 browns are within the year and a half black belts. And we're just spreading it. They come down here every weekend and train with me, and we all get better, and it improves them. And this school's awesome. Their school's awesome. The place in Liverpool is, I don't even know, it's probably 6,000 square feet. Awesome, like just an amazing school over there. They have hundreds of students. Their night classes, like 60, 65 people in one jiu-jitsu class at night. It's very cool. And they're all just doing awesome. And they've had guys fight in UFC, and then they've had those guys leave and go to other schools, which was, it was stupid. That's when they started losing. But like Paul Sass was training there, Terry Edom was training there, some good guys, and they thought they'd leave and go do better, and left and didn't do better. But,
yeah, Terry Edom was.
It is what it is. But
Terry Edom was one of my favorites.
Oh man, he was a tough kid, very tough dude.
Crazy. But now I don't like him. No, I'm just kidding. that's the MMA fans these days. Oh, they lost the fight. Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely like that.
That guy sucks, man. He lost one fight. No,
right.
So before we let you go here, once again, just how can people actually get a hold? Let's say, hey, man, I didn't know this was going on. I want to come down, be part of this team. Where can they get a hold of you or the information, or even find out more about how to train with you in your schools and whatnot?
Absolutely. They can email me, chris@chrisbrennan.com. They can call me at 940-923-6086. And follow me on Twitter. I am Chris Brennan. And or Facebook. I don't even know what Facebook is. Facebook.com, Chris Brennan 111, I think. But yeah, man, just anybody that wants to come try out of this tryout, please show up. show up like you're in shape for a fight, because it's going to be a rough 2 days. But I'm trying to get some people to come out here and cover it, because I'd like to make something out of it. But, the more people I get out here, the better. We're going to have a fully catered and everything for the 2 days, and provide, a place for the guys to stay here and everything when they get out here. It's anybody that wants to reach me can reach me those ways. June 29th is the tryout. June 3rd is the first day of our instructor program, and the next one's 4 months later. And again, look for me on the mat in Long Beach at the World this year.
That's amazing, and thanks for coming on and sharing that information. And obviously talking. It's always great to hear someone who's been in the game so long spread some knowledge. Just for people listening, definitely should follow you on Twitter. Out of all your social medias, man, you're pretty damn funny on Twitter. Always have some witty comments, man. You might just jump into comedian if you need to.
To be honest, man, I could. I talked to my wife about that. If I was just
Are you shitting me?
I'm the kind of guy. Yeah, no, but I'm only funny like responding. If you say something to me, I instantly have something witty and smart ass to say back, but I couldn't just walk up on stage and start telling jokes. But if one person tried to heckle me, they'd be fucked.
Maybe you should just go on stage and just read your Twitter replies. Just get on stage and say wrist locks are gay or something.
Maybe Jill will let me open for him.
There you go. Reach out to Rogan. Once again, thank you very much. And, anytime you need to come back on, just hit me up, and we're more than welcome. You're a great guest. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
All right. Enjoy your night,
Thanks
sir.
everybody listening. All right. See you guys.
Take care. We are Shaka Khan. All right, guys. Remember, next week, tune in. We got the man running Grappler's Quest, Brian Simmons, the CEO, the boss of all bosses. Actually, I don't think that's his title. I believe that was Rick Ross. But still, he is a boss of some sort. So we'll have him on, talk about the big event coming up in Brampton, also about the rest of what's going on with Grappler's Quest, because they had a little hiatus, and now they're back kicking ass. So we'll see what he's been up to. I know there's been a lot on his plate, and he'll go on to talk about the promotion of Grappler's Quest. And if you don't know, man, all the greats have came up through there. I mean, the Mike Fowlers, the Glovers, the Ryan Halls, the Bill Coopers, Cyborg, and a lot of super fights. People been always a big part of Grappler's Quest. Pavel Popovich. I mean, the names don't stop. The people that have been come through there and made a big name for themselves. So it'll be great to talk to Brian next week. And remember, hit us up, BJJ Addict. TV.com, and if you want to contact us, our email's on there, or you could just listen right now and write it down, bjjaddicttv@gmail.com. If you want us to promote any events that you got coming up, seminars, fundraisers, tournaments, just hit us up and let us know what's going on, and we'll say it at the start of the show or at the end of the show. And also, any people want their instructors on and they want to do an episode, hit us up, and maybe we'll figure it out if it jives with the way we've been going. We'd like to have some people, high level, school owners, full-time trainers, someone with some sort of a name or up and comers that we've heard of. Not that I don't appreciate every little person in the community doing their part, but just for content's sake, it's good to have a man like Chris Brennan on right now, and Stephen Casting or Marcos Terragrosa, someone who's up and coming, but his name's been banging in the grappling community right now. He's on fire. So that's it. I'm just rambling on, so I'm gonna cut myself off. And thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. That is it for BJJ Addict Radio. Jerwell P will be back after June 1st, his MMA fight. I'm not even letting him get on the show because he's got to go train. So hang tight, dudes. That's what he would say right now. And that's it. Good night.